tjarnar fett. Hér á reik margur óhreinn andinn, úr því fer að skyggja á jökulsvett.
Iceland, the land of Vikings and beautiful scenery, has a deep history in its sagas. Prior to the age of sagas, to fully understand Icelandic history, we must know of these early Viking settlers. According to the ancient manuscripts, Icelandic, the Papa, Irish monks, in a search for a land of tranquility and peace, go on Karak, or skin boats, to find a new home to practice their religion. The first Vikings interact with Papa, but upon these brief encounters, the Papa are dissatisfied with these Vikings and quickly vanish. Their whereabouts are unknown. A Viking in the later part of the 9th century, named Nadod, intended to sail to the Faroe Islands, but accidentally discovered Iceland. Upon arriving on the coast of Iceland, Nadod climbed a mountain in Iceland, looking for any signs of settlement. They returned back to Norway and reported this information to other Vikings. Gawa Svavarson, a Swedish Viking, heard about this new information being spread, and sailed to Iceland, then came back describing it positively, such as the land being heavily wooded. A Viking by the name Hrafna Floki Vilgawason heard rumors of a land in the North Atlantic and sought to go there. In the later part of the 9th century, Floki set off from Norway to find this rumored land in hopes of settling it. Floki had navigational assistance in finding this rumored land. Despite being quite unorthodox, Floki used 3 ravens on his voyage to find this rumored land. Each raven acted differently on his voyage to Iceland. The first went back to Norway, the second landed on the ship, and finally the third guided him to the island of Iceland. Floki arrived on Iceland intended to make a settlement by allowing his livestock to graze in the fields of Iceland. Despite bringing the livestock with him, Floki was busy fishing off the coast of Iceland and forgot to grow hay for his animals, which would later cause these animals to die in the winter. Before departing back to Iceland, Floki climbed a mountain called Hjonatur and saw drift ice in a fjord, which would cause him to name the island Iceland, in hopes of dissuading other Vikings from settling the island. Floki's tactic would not work out, and news spread about the true climate of Iceland. Ingolf Arnason and Hjörleifur Hvarmason, 2 foster brothers, were forced to leave Norway as a punishment for killing an earl. Ingolf Arnason and Hjörleifur Hvarmason gathered supporters and a family to join them for the journey as well. They also brought livestock, tools, supplies, and ceremonial items with them. In 874 CE, Ingolf Arnason arrived in Iceland and would make a settlement on the island. Despite sailing with his brother, Hjörleifur Hvarmason, they lost sight of each other before reaching land, landed in different parts of Iceland. A common practice of the Vikings was to throw high sea pillars, Undvegaslur, overboard and then settle where the pillars washed ashore, and later ask for the Norse gods to find a site that was approved by the land spirits, Lenvitir, of the land. Ingolf performed this practice, while Hjörleif did not. Hjörleif eventually landed at Hjörleifsahoy, where he constructed 2 houses and began farming. However, his slaves later revolted and killed Hjörleif and everyone on the farm. Upon hearing the news, Ingolf mourned his foster brother. However, he said that is what the consequences are when someone does not worship. Ingolf later avenged his brother by killing Hjörleif's slaves. After 3 years looking for the high sea pillars, Ingolf and his slaves found those pillars at the future city of Reykjavik. They began building. A major factor that caused more people to settle in Iceland was the tyrannical rule of King Harald Finnhair. In 872 CE, King Harald was the first to unify Norway's chiefdoms into a state. Harald declared that the other lords had to be submissive to his rule, or be exiled. Many of the lords and wealthy people decided to flee to Iceland rather than be under King Harald's rule. Settlers during this time traveled by Nor, which is a Viking cargo ship. The journey would usually take 1 to 2 weeks from Norway to Iceland. This wraps up the early arrivals portion of Iceland. Next time on Iceland, the Saga Age, we will delve straight into the Saga Age. Thank you for watching.